Might as well.
What, Maggie 2 is always wearing them?
Maggie 2 is always in sunglasses. Rumor has it even when he's in bed, like
He wakes up with sunglasses.
he wakes up with sunglasses. There's a video where Maggie 2 is actually in bed in sunglasses. Remember that?
But there's a video, there's cameras there.
Yeah, but you see, when you're acting, you need to be as close to reality as possible. So he was showing us what his life is like on and off.
It means it's got nothing to do with your real life.
It's close. It's his music video.
It's not just him. It's I think it's most Zambian artists, celebrities.
Do we have celebrities here though?
In Zambia?
Yeah.
I think we do.
Who?
Is the question.
I'm not dropping names.
No, really, I want to know who you feel.
No, we have celebrities with our own, on our Zambian level.
Who? Zambian market.
Yeah, Market 2, Bombshell, Cleo.
Slab D.
Are they really
Chef.
though?
That's what I'm saying. On our Zambian level, we
Right.
celebrate them. So they are celebrities on our Zambian level.
Yeah.
I know you're thinking more of Hollywood. They go to the mall and they shut it down.
No, I'm not thinking that.
Yeah.
But I also what's your definition of a celebrity?
I think that should be the question, right?
Yeah.
I feel possibly Kenneth Kaunda.
Right.
Who's the other person that just recently died? Who we're meant to have on the podcast?
Rupiah Banda.
That was the closest to celebrity that we had, right? Like now,
No,
you're
giving us examples, not a definition.
Yeah, no. So in my opinion, a celebrity is somebody that you get starstruck by.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is your definition of a celebrity a person who people see at the mall and the mall gets shut down? For example, Justin Bieber shows up in a mall in New York.
I do not want to
shutting
speak.
it down.
See, I don't want to speak about international artists. I want to give local context.
No. I'm giving context.
But in the example that you've given, yes.
Elson, I'd like to believe celebrity comes from the word
Celebrated. That's my
somebody
True.
who's celebrated.
Yeah.
So we'll then have the likes of your Kalusha Walia.
Yeah.
You have your
Maki too.
Enoch Mwepu.
No, but then again, see, that doesn't make sense because you celebrate your father, is he a celebrity?
At home level.
Yeah, but again, so
Yeah.
that's my point is now celebrated is once you go down that rabbit hole, then it's subjective.
Okay,
Do you get what I
definition
mean?
we've accepted is somebody who's
Celebrated.
Yeah, but
famous,
again,
they've achieved something.
Right.
No, again, see, achievement and celebrated, you now have to put context. You know what I mean? Because again, when you go to celebrated, it's still subjective.
Right.
Because if you get someone that is celebrated by 20 people, and if you speak to those 20 people, they'll be like, yes, we celebrate those people, but are they a celebrity?
But also that's
Celebrated by a good number of people.
We're talking
but again,
about
what's a good,
at
again, what's a
national
good
level,
number of people?
national
Thousands of
level,
people.
yeah.
Like Maki too.
Again, now that's subjective. When you say thousands of people, it's a lot
I
of
think
people.
that's one of those times where
It's not.
Elson just wants to argue for the sake of arguing.
Yeah, he's playing.
No,
devil's
I've had a fucked up morning.
Yeah.
I was telling Emmanuel about that.
So I was telling him about
and
how
you were late too. So
I
you were
was
saying?
telling him about how you need to have an intentional routine of
Yeah.
just setting the tone for your day, because people will just mess it up for you.
Dude,
Yeah.
You know, similar to when someone stole from me. You remember?
what, that happened again?
No, it didn't, but something close. Like, you know, when you've got a contract in place,
Yeah.
airtight, and then another entity, because they've got more influence or they've got more money, they would now try to wiggle their way into your business. Is exactly what happened today. Did I
Because-
not just
because
find
they
out?
can.
Because they can.
Damn.
Because they've got bigger pockets. Well, I got bigger balls. I'll tell you that.
Your
But
disability.
But they're not helping
So
you
the
much
reason
right
why
now, are they?
No, they are.
In
so
this
the reason
deal.
why, course the fuck in this deal. The reason why when I came here, when you were sitting in here, we couldn't do like the prep because I was on the phone for a long
I
time.
noticed you're walking up and forth.
Fuck, man. Yeah. So
Anywho, speaking of this place, I like how comfortable we are.
right.
Comfortable sofas, comfortable room. It's a very comfortable place. Nice swimming pool.
Very decent.
Very decent, yeah.
You do know of this place, right?
It was my first time actually.
It's a pretty hidden gem.
I'm like,
what area is
okay.
this? Woodlands, right?
This is Woodlands, right?
Extension.
Nyumbayanga.
No, they would call it Woodlands
Extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Nyumbayanga because Google Maps showed me Nyumbayanga.
Nyumbayanga.
Area. Okay,
This
let's
is
just say
one
Nyumbayanga
area I
It's
failed to
it's
figure
Nyumbayanga,
out for
right?
the longest time.
Yeah.
I think the demarcations and the boundaries are not just well. I think
demarcations are not very clear.
So I don't know where Nyumbayanga,
And
Woodlands, and Extension, but I'd like to believe it falls under the Woodlands Extension.
So
It's a
I
really-
like the wide picket fence.
White
See
picket
that?
fence. We're gonna
An
show these.
amazing pool.
Lamek, please show these.
I love the swimming pool.
Right.
It's so small.
Yeah, but neat.
At least even Elson, who can't swim, can manage to swim in the sea.
Yes, you know what I mean.
See now you just missed a very good joke.
Okay. Why?
Because you spoke of the size of the pool being small.
Right.
So you should have said Elson, who's short, can fit in the pool. See,
No.
That's
It's
how
my
you
joke. I own it.
No, I hear you.
You can't say I missed it.
And I'm like that would have been a bigger punchline.
Okay, great.
So Pebble Apartments is in Woodlands or Nyumbayanga, depending
Right.
on what Google Maps shows you. Brilliant looking, clean. I think is the word.
Serene,
Immaculate.
decent.
The environment.
No,
decent.
it is very.
Self catering. You can see the kitchen in the background. The-
Is the kitchen showing in the background? In,
showing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Very
you see
clean.
that. But
And
what you
these are
can't see
fairly new, right?
Yeah, extremely new.
How long have they been?
I have no idea.
Relatively
I would lie to
Yeah,
you.
fairly new.
Fairly new.
But you can actually smell the new house smell.
yeah,
Exactly.
sofas brand new, so you can get rooms.
So
fairly priced,
I'll tell you now. So
Yeah.
there's studio apartments.
Yeah.
That are going. So because it's us, people were shocked. We've got a new mental health podcast that is coming,
Fantastic.
and people were asking us, do we pay for this? And we said, because we're family, no, we won't.
Yeah.
So again, because we're family, the deal that we're giving you if you come to Pebbles is if you get a studio apartment, you're paying 850 kwacha a night.
850 kwacha.
That's about
for this whole thing?
That's a studio.
Yeah. Oh, studio.
And for
Right.
this,
The
like where we're in,
Yeah.
is 1,250.
So you get it for 800.
Extremely affordable.
Yeah.
And especially like in this festive season that we're getting into,
Yeah.
so many people from the diaspora are coming in
True.
to steal your women.
So look out for Pebble Apartments in Woodlands. It's very
But
comfortable. place to
isn't
be.
that what those +44 numbers are doing, fam?
And what I liked about this place is just the accuracy of your Google Maps.
Right, it takes you right to the
didn't
gate,
have
right?
to struggle when you sent the Google Maps.
Yeah,
Unlike
yeah,
certain places,
yeah.
you need to go round.
Yeah, true.
But this one was so precise. I'm not sure it's Elson's. I think
iPhone 14.
Dude. Anyway, welcome to it. Another exciting episode.
Yeah, it is my iPhone 14.
Wait, I'm coming to that. Let's introduce our guest. This is Emmanuel, CEO of eMark.
Chief Executive
Officer. Boop, boop, boop. Look at these boring people not clapping at.
clapping for myself.
He's the CEO of eMark. You've probably seen the shop in Lusaka. It's town center, right?
CBD in Kwazi Road.
CBD in Kwazi Road. That's where we got our iPhones from. And speaking of iPhones, there are two
Yeah.
iPhone 14s on this episode.
All right.
And mine, I'm still using the iPhone 11. So embarrassing.
Still a decent phone.
It's still a decent phone though. Yeah,
Really?
I got from eMark, and so two iPhones, two iPhone 14, one 11.
Yeah.
And I don't know if laptops. People can get laptops from your shop as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Computers, games.
Elson's, MacBook is from
The
my
MacBook,
store.
I bought it from
From
him.
eMark.
Yeah.
Speaking of laptops, have you heard the scandal in Zimbabwe? The laptop
What laptop?
tender.
Let me tell you this.
Tell me
dude.
about it.
Oh, there's a laptop
Parliament.
tender making the rounds in
Yeah.
Zimbabwe, man.
You need to open a fucking shop in
Zimbabwe.
Zim.
Let me tell you, one laptop. This company, which has got offices I'll send you the picture. You need to put this up.
It's like a shack.
It's like a shack. It's like in an
Right.
alley.
Right.
Put one laptop at $9,000.
US.
So listen,
US dollars.
the tender.
No way.
This
No
is what the
way.
tender was like.
And what was the quantity like?
173 laptops. The total bill came to 1.6 million US dollars.
One laptop. HP.
$9,000. So the
$9,000.
tender was accepted, then cancelled after the it's like the equivalent of anti-corruption commission, yeah.
Yeah.
Had to look at it.
Who approved it?
That's the question.
It was already approved.
But
And
who
only,
approved it?
I don't know.
That's the question right there.
That's what corruption does.
Big folks were involved.
Do you get such tenders as eMark?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Before we go there,
Yeah.
speaking of celebrities and people being celebrated,
Well, back to that. Yeah.
Emmanuel gave me an extremely sweet deal,
Okay.
but I still had to buy my gadgets.
I think we have to put this on camera.
I still had we still had to buy.
And we're friends.
Emmanuel.
Am I advertising for free on your prestigious podcast?
Oh, please do, my man. Please do.
If I can advertise for free, then you're getting free devices. Sometimes,
Right now, you're already
Dude,
advertising.
Plug. Put an eMark logo. Let me put an eMark logo in the corner, eh?
Not on the spot. Not on the spot. We obviously need to agree.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you put the eMark logo. By the time I realize it, the invoice is like your 9,000 USD.
You've already been owing us for a week by the time that you get the invoice.
Your ZIM code.
You already have bailiffs at your office.
Exactly.
Emmanuel, the first time we met was at what mall is that?
Coffee brew.
Coffee brew at
Garden City.
Garden City Mall.
Who said
know-
coffee brew?
Huh?
Who said coffee brew?
You said coffee brew.
said coffee brew.
I'm
You
not
said-
sure.
Look at him trying to
Send you
shift the-
joints?
it's
Send you joints in
We'll
town?
blame Lamek.
No, it's called brew me.
Now listen to
Right.
You know how I always have a story about the first time I met people. That was the
Yeah.
first time I met him. And remember how we're waiting for somebody who looks older than he does?
Bruh,
We got,
let me tell you a
any
story.
big person who came and thought,
We
oh, that's
came like,
Emmanuel.
that's probably him.
Well, even the first time I think I got on call with Elson.
You
Yeah.
told me not
I
to
could
say.
tell.
Yeah.
I could tell he thought he's talking to someone.
You called
some
me
authority.
the same day and I kept calling you sir.
Yeah. I
And
was
you
like,
said, please
no.
don't call me that. Dude,
Right.
how have you gotten to where you are so fast? And I say so fast because you're so young.
All right.
Yeah.
First things first. Thank you guys for having me on your prestigious podcast. I'd like to put this out there that I've been following this podcast since day one.
Wow.
Yeah. So to make it here as a guest is
The
such
dream
a
come
bless-
true?
I would say that.
Please don't push the man.
No. I would honestly say that looking at the caliber of guests you've had,
Yeah.
this is a dream come true for me.
Word.
So getting back to your question, what is it that has gotten me this far?
Yeah.
Man,
You must have a really good sangoma, bro.
you think so? Well, if I'm going to take it away from me, it would be two things. It would be good people like you, and God, God's grace. But if I'm going to narrow it down to my abilities, I would say consistency and the dream, the desire. Yeah, that is what I think has gotten me to where I am right now.
Yeah, have you noticed? So, I have had the privilege and the honor to be with this man in public, and people walk up to him and they say, "Oh, are you eMark?" Which is something that I'm coming to.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how he separates himself?
From the brand?
That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two is he always says, "I work at."
Not I am.
Yeah. Well, I think I know I do get these accolades. You're doing well, etc., etc. But the real eMark story cannot be what it is without the people I work with. Yeah. So yes, of course, our business is relatively small. We are just at, I think, our growth stage. So I need to be the face. I need to come to interviews like this. But the reality is, it's not just me. There are people that are working right now as we are doing this episode. So at times, I feel like every time accolades are sent my way, it takes away the good, the effort, the commitment of my colleagues and many other people that make the eMark dream real. So not that I don't like to attach myself so much to the brand, or I'm uncomfortable being called CEO. I think I love it. I love that, but there's just so many people that are sowing into the eMark dream. And I feel in the same light that I'm recognized, they deserve that too. So just like them, I'm an employee. I work at eMark. Perhaps the only privilege would be that I am employee number one. I was the first person to be employed at eMark. Yeah.
That's the same reason why my business
Employed by
cards,
who?
Myself.
self-employed.
Self-employed, of course.
I was saying it's the same reason why my business cards have no title. I don't know. I just don't like that CEO thing.
It's too big a name. It's too big a name. The question is, you don't have a board in place.
Yeah.
Like, who gave you CEO title? Because if you're gonna be employed as a CEO, there's obviously a
Someone
board
you
somewhere that's
report to.
going to approve.
Yeah.
But if a business is being run by you, you're the one who does the marketing, you're the one who does your hiring,
accounting,
the
yeah, everything.
accounting, and so on and so forth. Who gave you the CEO title? Did you apply for it? You are just privileged to serve, to be a founder. I would like to believe so.
Is there a difference? Because I just asked you who appointed you and said self-employed. Is there a difference between a businessman, an entrepreneur, and someone self-employed?
Yeah. The difference is huge. An entrepreneur actually is a big word.
Do you have an English word for entrepreneur?
It's just a French wiki. Well, we've adopted it. So
You're
right.
But
After the French brought it up, yeah.
When you're talking of an entrepreneur, it's a big word. These are people that are solving real life problems.
true. Yeah.
Like, what solution?
Right.
What problem are you solving with your business? Yeah. And now you're talking of an entrepreneur. A self-employed is a guy.
Sells talk time.
Yeah. To get yourself by.
Has tenders in the mines.
That would be
that's a businessman.
business. That's you doing business.
What about
because then
someone that owns
you're
a radio-
invoicing, you're doing all these things. There's quotations. There's the bank involved. You're doing business of some sort.
What about
You're
someone
paying
that
taxes.
owns a radio station?
Oh, I know who that is targeted at. It would be a business person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in the business of selling content.
You're very kind. Should be a politician.
I'm
man.
looking forward to the guy who dropped out.
Yeah.
I know it always comes out at on every episode, so I'm looking forward to a point where he says,
Now
this guy,
we'll sneak it in.
we'll sneak it in.
We'll
eh?
sneak it in.
Ah, okay. I thought
You-
it was
beat.
right.
You won't sneak. You won't see it coming.
Right.
Emmanuel, a lot of people, especially, I think in Lusaka, you're quite a very famous person. And
Very.
Myself?
Yeah.
Without
Quite.
people knowing that this is him.
Exactly. And,
Thank you.
Which is a very, very. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Is
have
it- is it 'cause I'm black?
running. Yeah, well, there's part of that, and I don't like the way you're holding your mic. which is
That's
a
true.
very amazing and unique position to be in,
Right.
where your brand is very popular, it's very well known, it's famous,
Right.
but people don't know who the fuck you are, and you're making money too.
You think so?
Can you imagine being famous and broke?
What are you saying about?
about who?
No, but
About a lot of
the
artists.
reality is you either have the money or the fame. Because
Yeah.
two people control the world. It's people that are famous,
And people that are rich.
people that are rich.
Yeah.
If you're lucky to have both,
Even better.
you're better. So your question, maybe, I don't think you finished asking.
I cut him off.
Yeah, you cut me off. I was saying, we know that, Emmanuel, but I think, what makes people even appreciate you more is the backstory. So I'd like to understand what shaped the person we see today, like where you're coming from. Basically, your educational background, where you grew up, all those things culminating to the Emmanuel we know today.
Oh, great. That would be a book, I think.
Yeah, please,
give us-
give us a few chapters,
but
bro.
We've got time.
bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I was born on the Copper Belt, Luancha to be precise.
Why on the copper belt? I'm sorry again, I cut you off.
I don't know why people from the Copper Belt don't get it.
You can't get it.
You don't get it.
No, so
He
help
wants,
me.
he wants to say in the Copper Belt.
Oh, from the Copper Belt.
So why don't you say on Lusaka or on the southern province?
Lusaka's not a belt.
There's something
You're
to
on
the
the
Copper
belt.
Belt.
No, but is
On
it
the
just a
belt.
belt?
It is a
it
belt.
really?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
No, hold on. Are you?
For real.
Is it a belt?
There's
It is a belt.
There's
And
a
where
belt.
does the belt? Where does the belt begin and where does it end?
It starts from the bushes of Indola, Baluba mines,
Yeah,
comes through
exactly.
Ron mines, Ron Antelope mines,
Yeah, exactly.
comes through what's that? Mopani Mines, Kitwe, Muflira Copper
I
Mine,
know
Mopani as well.
What they're built there as well.
So it's a whole belt
exactly.
of copper. So you're on the belt.
Even the province itself.
I think you.
Also, even the province itself is named after the copper itself.
Yes.
No,
So
I get
copper
that.
belt.
No, I get why it is called copper belt.
Right, but why do people say on?
Because you're on the belt.
No, but you are in a province.
It's like
On the copper belt.
It's like how people say, sorry, I'm going to brag about the school I went to.
Yeah.
The University of Zambia. You never say the
Unza.
No, you said the University of Zambia,
Yeah.
but you don't refer to other universities as there. I'm not sure you get what I mean.
What about Copperbelt University? The Copperbelt University.
Yeah, these two.
Yeah.
These two. But you're not going to say the
Mulungush.
The
Cavendish.
very something. Yes, yeah. Something.
Anyway, you were saying,
wait,
you grew
hold
up in
on.
one shot.
Wait, hold on.
Right.
The word university is in the name of University of Zambia, and that's why the there is there. Mulungushi is the word university at the beginning.
University.
It's
No.
Mulungushi, exactly. But which other university begins with the word university? Because then the there will
University
apply.
of Lusaka.
Say again?
It's just University of Lusaka.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
You
his
don't
point
start
is dependent on size. But anyway, Luansha, I'm trying to understand your upbringing. Yeah.
I was born in Luansha from a fairly decent family. If I said poor, I think I would be exaggerating things.
Yeah.
But I come from a decent background. We could afford the 3 meals, but we couldn't afford the luxuries.
In Luansha.
Yes.
That's like a gated community, isn't it?
Gated
Yeah, it is.
community.
Yeah.
Gated
Yeah.
community. In fact, I was born in Luansha, a very small township called Mpatamatu. I'm not sure you've been.
No, I've been.
You've been, yeah. I was born there. A family of 5.
The Kambuilis grew up there as well.
The Kambuilis grew up. And so many other people.
They were my neighbors at
notable
some
figures.
point.
The Kambuilis?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
So I was born there. I did my primary from there, grade 1 to 7. Then 8, I went to Chiwala High School. Chitek. I went there.
Yeah.
So I completed my grade 12.
Did you smoke a lot of weed there as well? Because that's cool.
Not even once.
We heard rumors. Allegedly, there's a lot of weed.
No, 'cause by the time I was going to Chiwala, things
Yeah.
were dying down. Your bullies, your big guys, your
big what?
marijuana, the big guys. Because
I thought you said big eyes.
no,
The big guys.
Look at him,
AKA Imi Babe.
Emi Babe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was known for bullies. You
Yeah.
know, you'd be bullied. So a guy would give you a 1 kwacha. I think at the time it was a 15 ngwe.
Yeah.
So he'll give you a 15 ngwe and he will tell you to say,
Go and buy
go and buy
So
2
much stuff.
loaves of bread
and come back
and
with
bring
change.
1,000 kwacha. It was 1,000 kwacha at the time. Wasn't rebased. Yeah.
You were a victim of bullying.
No. Like I said, by
Yeah.
the time I was going there, it was just dying down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So even your marijuana was not so pronounced. It's not something we used to see. So lucky me, I managed to leave that school without smoking a blunt.
Wow.
Yeah. So I left Chiwala 2012. That's when I completed school. Then
What year were you born?
1995.
A year before Tupac was killed.
No,
That's
did
very
he die
young.
in 1995?
It's a year before.
A year before, 96.
He was killed in 96.
Okay. So
95. I was already fucking then, bro.
how old were you? No.
You were 9.
Maybe 7 years old. I like to
Elson was
believe you're
9. I don't know
35.
how.
Elson is 35.
Well, you're not even producing anything by then.
Yeah, so
9.
yeah.
no,
Your dick
27.
doesn't get hard at
1995?
1995?
I said, does your dick not get hard then?
I wasn't sexually active at 9, bro. I see why you're the way you are. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Elson.
Elson.
Moving on.
I'm sorry. we don't have a sponsor on this
Typical
episode.
you, typical you,
Actually, shit,
typical
we do
you.
This place.
Yeah, so I think I left Chiwala. Not I think. I left Chiwala in 2012.
Yeah.
So like I said, if I'm going to narrow it down, everything that I've achieved to myself, it would be the dream, the desire. So like I said, I didn't come from a poor family, of course, but I came from a family that was decent. We could afford the meals, but we couldn't. There was no surplus. So
What did your dad do?
my dad used to do average jobs, man. He worked for the mines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Worked for the mines. He used to sometimes, if there's a man I know who switched jobs, it would be
Was
my
your dad?
dad. Yeah, he switched from working for the mines. He would work for as a driver. He worked in so many places, but just your average.
He was a
jobs.
hustler who kept food on the table.
Yeah.
That's the important thing, man.
Your
Much
blue
respect.
collar jobs.
Yeah.
So to say. Everywhere he worked, he was a blue collar job guy.
And mom?
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes there was no surplus for us.
Yeah, of course.
There was no surplus. So I think there are times when I was kicked out of school because
Of
fees were not paid on time. So I think there was that dream and drive to just change the trajectory of my life. So when I came to Lusaka, I moved to Lusaka sometime in 2013 after I just got my results, my grade 12 results.
Yeah.
So I moved in with an uncle of mine. And yeah, it was that gap year between your high school and your university. So I got, I think, pretty decent results. I knew I'd get admission from the university. But that 1 year, that gap year of waiting, I think is where the story started the most. That is where the dream to change the trajectory of my life was a nest.
Yeah.
So I started to look for what to do. Factoring my background, I knew whether given bursary or not, whether given bursary, it will still not be enough. So I might as well look for some things. I could start saving so that by the time I'm being admitted to uni, I could have saved a bit of cash to just look after myself. So I started looking for work. And yeah, I would move around places. These just your simple jobs that obviously a grade 12 could do. So I managed to get a job with Wimpy Mandahill. I'm not sure you remember.
Yeah,
was
Wimpy.
Wimpy
The filling
Mandahill.
station there. Was it by the filling station?
No, it was a franchise, so I
Yeah.
think they had a couple. There was one in Kitwe. I'm not sure it's still there.
Yeah, I remember the Kito one. Now they closed that one down as well, yeah.
There's one, there was one at, is it Makishi? Engine filling station.
Yes.
There was one at Arcades, then there was one at Mandahill. So I got the job with the one at Mandahill. Yeah. So I started there as a waiter. Man, I loved that job. And that's the job that I think is the starting story of eMark. Because I don't know where and how, I think phones fascinated me. I just liked the idea of phones. And at the time, your Blackberries were trending. So yeah. So when I started making money through tips. I'm not sure it's the case now, but those were good days for us. My colleagues and I used to make pretty decent money from tips. You'd make your 500 kwacha. You'd make your 700 kwacha in one day from tips. Yeah, I mean, it all boils down to service. If people like how you're serving,
They'll tip you.
Yeah, they'll tip you. Yeah. So you'd get 150 kwacha on a table. So for me, the bank was my favorite place. Zanako.
You worked there?
Yeah, no.
Or they would come to your
No, when I knock off, I would
You
pass through
save
the
everything.
bank and put whatever money I got from tips. I remember my salary, basic salary was 1,026 kwacha. But by end of month, I would have accumulated to over 5,000 kwacha, 5K at the time from tips. But not just that. A very good friend of mine, one of the guys that I have mad respect for, Julila Gondwe. I'm not sure you know the page or a group on Facebook called Let's Talk Amasampo. Yeah. So that's the guy, him and his friend, Sasi, who's my very good
I know
friend.
Sassy from Kitwe, yeah.
Yeah, Sasi.
Yeah.
So those guys, I think, before sailing on Facebook was a thing, I don't know how and why, but they managed to get their way around setting up a group that then would allow people to buy and sell stuff.
But Sassy has always been that guy from the Zika's days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did that. Let's Talk Amasampo, one of the first Facebook groups you could ever buy and sell stuff from. So for me, I started looking for deals. So whilst working at Wimpy Mandahill, I started looking for deals on Amasampo because now I'm getting extra cash. How best can I multiply this money? So I started getting phones from there, 40 phones actually. So I'd get a phone at a very cheaper price and then sell it. Maybe make your 50 kwacha markup, just like that. And I remember, I've been inside police cells, I think 3 times because I got a stolen phone. But story for another day.
Nah, we're having that story later. Take a note, please.
Yeah, so I mean, it was obviously risky because the group was not regulated. So you buy a phone from a gym, any guy, you sell it. I was obviously a youngster, driven by a dream to just change the trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
So it got risky sometimes. I would get phones. I don't know who I'm getting from, sell, and eventually they would be investigated. Because BlackBerry, I'm not sure you remember, they are your pins.
Your pin, yeah.
Yeah. So somebody can send you a
BDM pin, yeah.
I remember one time I sold a device to a cousin of mine. So that phone was stolen. So he received an invitation on BBM. When that happened, he thought it was a chick. So he started vibing, not knowing that somebody's investigating him. So they started vibing. And it was a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
I was going for work at Wimpy. So I just received a call and I'm like, my cousin's like, can I see you right now? There was something very odd about that particular call. But I could just sense it, your spirit when something bad is about to happen. Before I realized it's the cops.
Handcuffs.
You saw the stolen phone. So we went, I was taken to Handsworth police. So luckily, the owner of the phone admitted this is not the guy that stole the phone.
So he knew the person that stole the phone?
Yes, I think somebody just grabbed it from them when they're walking in Cairo Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody grabbed the phone. Luckily, because then you'll be told to exculpate yourself. You need to explain how you ended up with this phone. And I didn't have any documentation from where I got the phone.
Yeah.
Some guy just posted on Facebook and I bought that phone.
And was the post still there on Facebook?
No, it wasn't, man. You're a youngster. There's no one to argue your case. You're intimidated. You're Zam cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So luckily, the owner of the phone says, no, I know the person that got the phone. This is not the guy.
And how long had you been in prison?
It was
in
just
jail?
a day. It was just a day.
Like a whole day? You spent the night there too?
No. I've been there 3 times.
Never spent a night.
Never spent a night.
You didn't drop the soap either?
Nah.
Okay. Didn't go to the showers? Did you go to the showers?
No.
Okay.
I was just there because for the first one, I think the owner said, okay, the only thing I want is my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm okay to throw this case away.
Drop
so
charges
my
and
cousin was cool with it. He gave back the phone, but I still needed to give him money because he bought. So I gave him back the money. The other time, I still remember this day, 14th September. Yeah, it was a stolen phone again. The famous Chingangu boxing.
Yeah.
He brought a phone to somebody I know. I got that phone. That phone was stolen from some kid's mom. So we were inside the chooks together with him.
With the kid.
Yeah. The kid, him, and myself.
With Chingangu the boxer?
Yes, Chingangu.
Oh, wow.
So it was that wild. It was that wild. Yeah.
Dude, have you ever... I can imagine the amount of filth that you see... No, not in prison.
Yeah.
That you see in people's phones. Like, especially when you buy a second-hand phone
Right.
and you go into
Don't they flash them? Don't they delete everything?
Who's they? Them?
They're the people who...
Yeah, the people.
Who are selling you the
it's a clean
phone.
Yeah, but again,
Restore
before they
factory
do,
settings,
yeah,
innit?
before they do that, you're gonna get some people who will be like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna leave you with that, just erase everything.
Because I don't know now, but then it was so sophisticated that people could actually flip your IME number.
Serious? Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
They do that still?
Yeah, I'm not sure now, but
Why the hell am I saving these numbers?
so
How do you know these guys?
Yeah. Let me.
tell us.
VJ.
Maybe these are the guys that were taking me inside.
I know, right?
Yeah, you're the guys that were changing serial numbers.
Yeah.
So your phone is not matching because obviously you, when it's being investigated, when they're looking for a certain phone, they find it because the physical appearance looks like it.
Right.
But if the serial,
serial number
is not
doesn't
matching,
match,
how
then-
do you argue this is your phone?
Then that's not it.
You've lost it.
I've also seen how, I don't know how they do it. If
Yeah.
your phone is stolen and you go to your service provider like Airtel, they're able to track your phone.
Yeah.
How the hell do you know how they do it?
Serial number, obviously, phone calls. And now,
Phone calls, right?
yeah, the phone calls, your NFC, no? Those things, wireless stuff,
But what NFC?
near field.
Near field, yeah,
connection,
but what about it?
I think it's somehow.
No, that can just tell you where you purchase stuff.
Yes, but also it
Still towers. It
Yes,
pings,
yes.
it pings the towers, right?
Yeah.
But you see, we're talking about all this technology, right? And I was
Yeah.
talking to someone yesterday, a former employee of Zicta, and he was like,
Right.
it doesn't make sense to him how the cops failed to find those 13 girls who were kidnapped for 7 months when there's all this technology accessible to us. Quite all right, the phones would be on and off, and the guys would,
Yeah.
make those ransom calls for like, 5-10 seconds, ask for money, and, but still, there's ways in which,
You can track a device.
even just a
Yeah,
second, you can
yeah.
triangulate at least the area. You know what I
Track a
mean?
Device.
No, but then again,
Yeah.
it depends with how many base stations you have in that area.
Yeah, but that's
Because you can't- you can't get-
what area was that?
Chalala.
Chalala,
Because
yeah.
you can get one base station in a radius of 5-10 kilometers. So now if you're going to say that these girls are within a 10-kilometer radius,
How to
many
triangulate?
houses,
Yeah, true.
How many houses in Chalala are in,
No, but
are in and the other thing about those girls is
Yeah.
were all 13 girls reported missing because they were only we only realized there were
The
13 when they
13.
were found.
We're looking for one. The Pamela
the
chick,
Pamela
right?
chick.
But still, dude. So all those girls, none of their families reported then?
Because they were meant to be in school, apparently.
What?
From what I heard.
Are you saying
Well,
something
wasn't it
is
like
not
7
adding up?
months?
Say again?
Are you saying something is not adding up?
No, we're just having a discussion.
But
About the
this
tech, just the tech side of it.
This is Zambia. We
Yeah.
failed to find the owner of 48 houses. So
I know, right?
yeah. So I think our one is even more complicated.
But
Yeah.
were they looking for the owner? Like, were they looking?
I'm not sure, man. 48 houses? Do we have a person now recognized as the owner of those houses? Yes.
Nobody talks about
they
those things,
looking?
man.
Are we looking? I'm not sure. That story just died down.
Is the question.
Wait, did we know that 13 girls were missing before the 13 girls were announced?
No, that's
Only
my
know-
point. We
That's
knew
what
that
I'm-
they
that-
found.
I'm
We
heading
only
somewhere
know
with
of
this, yeah.
Pamela. We only
Sorry?
knew of Pamela.
Yeah.
So
Right.
how can this story is very how didn't
Confusing.
those parents report
Confusing.
and why didn't this,
Because apparently those girls, this is now, I don't know if this is fact or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those girls were meant to have been in school.
all of them boarding school?
So are you saying
like-
that the
like
parents
college
thought-
and 7 months. Wasn't it
come
7
on,
months?
Austin.
Say again?
There need to be an issue against the school authority.
No, but how many times, again, don't coach me on this.
Right.
But how many times do you know of girls who live in the Copper Belt, right?
Yeah.
On the copper
Copper
belt.
Belt.
We live on the Copper Belt,
But then are in
Yeah.
school in Lusaka.
right?
On Lusaka. And during holidays,
Right.
they choose to not go back home and stay in the boarding houses in Lusaka. You've heard of those stories before, right?
Yeah, but
a lot of the
seriously.
time. So,
Notwithstanding, being in Lusaka during holidays, I'd like to believe that they
You still
do
communicate. That's my point as
that's
well.
my
You know what I
point.
mean?
True.
But the
Yeah.
question is,
I don't. Again, we're speculating.
Yeah.
I,
Yes,
I
we
don't
are.
have the answers to that.
yeah,
I have got a cousin of mine. Shout out to Fungi. He lives in Canada. He had 2 sisters. Now he
Right.
has 1 because the other one passed away. It was not out of the ordinary for her to go for 2 months without checking on anybody. And then in the 3rd month, pop up, hey, hi guys, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I've got a new job, and yada, yada, yada. And she goes quiet.
right.
So it was not out of the ordinary for her to be quiet for a long time. Sadly for her, they only found her in an apartment a month after she died
Damn.
because she OD'd on drugs.
Oh, and she only checks in after 2 months.
And she only checks in.
As
So
far as
it
the
was
family
not-
is concerned, it's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah. So it could have been the case maybe
But
with
the
the girls as well.
probability
Yeah.
that 13 girls
All of them.
do not communicate are the type that would go 3 months without being in touch with.
How many?
very-
But again, how
Right.
many women? How many girls
Yeah.
in general have that type of relationship? I would
With
not
their
be saying
parents,
with their
yeah.
parents. I understand in your case where you might be close to your siblings. You know what I mean? Where you can't fathom not speaking to your mom, not speaking to your dad, not speaking to your sister for that amount of time.
Yeah.
But it is not so far-fetched for people that are so estranged from their families to go for long periods of time without talking to their families.
Right.
And we do not know if these guys would occasionally give the girls their phones to check in on their parents.
Has anybody gotten in touch with the families of these girls?
don't know.
The most I've seen is, of course, what we're seeing on the news.
Right.
One girl was a mother, another girl was a sister, who reported that the sister went to. Well, the girl who was given the report said her sister went to see her boyfriend and didn't come back.
Right.
And next they got a call was for a ransom.
Oh, okay.
But there's no mention of them reporting the police again. You know what I mean? Those who got calls
And
from
also
the
the other
kidnappers.
thing as well is when Pamela went missing, apparently the kidnappers were not calling Pamela's
Pamela.
parents.
Yeah.
They were calling the boyfriend.
Ish. Okay, guys,
Did
this
you,
story.
did you hear about that? That they were calling the boyfriend for the ransom and not the parents.
And how is it that there's a very comprehensive documentary about this in Nigeria and not in Zambia? Have you seen it on Facebook?
I've not seen it yet.
Check
There's
out this guy. It's called, I'll remember the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually got more details from Nigeria than
But
Zambia
also,
over this issue.
Have we managed to capture everyone who was involved?
Is the question.
I think
Because
there's
they've only caught
there's
one
two
guy.
guys on the run, innit?
They've only got one guy, yeah, two on the run.
2 guys on the run?
Yeah.
Is
Nope.
that
They caught 5 now.
They caught 5?
wait? So
As of this recording, anyway.
So what? These guys were it was just them. There was no authority they were submitting to.
We'll find out more later.
so which guy was sharing a shirt with Pamela? Because there was a guy who. Did you see that photo?
I didn't see it.
Did
And
any
then
of
there's
you see
also
the photo?
the apostle guy,
You
the
saw
owner of the
photo,
house.
right? There was a guy that was sharing a shirt with Pamela. So
I
it was
didn't see
that
that.
one.
I
You
didn't
didn't
see
see that one.
Yeah.
I'll look for it. They were wearing the same shirt.
The million question is, how do you have 13 women in a house?
In a house. 13 girls in a house,
and
yeah.
they don't scream. It's a residential area.
But then,
Where
yeah,
they're
yeah.
drugs.
And sorry,
No, I said this when they were found that I would not be shocked if one or more of those girls have got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, you fall in love with your kidnapper.
yeah. Further to his question would be: is that the only house they were living
Exactly.
in, or they would change locations? I don't know. There's just so many dynamics around this whole.
Remember there's the apostle, apparently the owner of the house?
Who's the owner of the house?
Some apostle guy. I haven't seen that article.
No,
No.
Apostle, like
yeah, like a
pastor?
church guy, yeah.
Was the house on rent?
Those are the questions being raised now. Like,
It's just complicated.
anyway,
It's just
you know what?
complicated.
This show is not for that.
Is this not in court?
it
Are
is
we
for
allowed
that.
to comment
It
on
is
the
for
matter
that.
in court? Are we allowed?
Who's
No,
the,
we can comment.
no,
yeah,
we
this-
can,
comment?
yeah, we
yeah,
can comment.
Cool.
and speculate.
We can speculate. Anyway, it's in the public domain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving to you. So you're wait. The time you're working at Wimpy, also at Onza.
No. That
That's
was
the
that
gap year before.
between completing my high school
Right.
and getting into Onza.
So you're going to Unza. There's so much drama already happened in your life. You've been to a prison cell 3 times.
3 times,
Yeah.
man.
Did you have a mark shot? Did I do mark shots here? No.
Mugshots, nah.
Here's something that I want to find out before you continue.
Yeah.
Speaking of tips, because you're speaking about how much tips you'd get when you were
Right.
working at Wimpy. Am I the only person that tips the petrol attendant?
I think you are.
Well, I do once in a while.
Thank you.
But I don't know why it's like very obvious to tip people in restaurants than
Right.
any other
But why is
place.
it not obvious to tip a petrol attendant? You'd think, right?
Simon Mlengamwil actually posted that this morning.
Well, it's
Let's
because
tip the barber man, the few
People
because
spend
I'll
money
tell-
when they're excited. You get excited.
I'll
that's
tell
having
the
a
only
good
time
meal.
the only time that I'll tip a petrol attendant is if he goes extra. So if he just pumps gas into my car, then fuck you too. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Right. But if he goes extra,
Clean your
if
windshield.
he cleans the windows,
Yeah.
if he checks my oil, I know he's meant to do that, but
Yeah.
then I appreciate it by doing that. I don't know. I think people need to tip petrol attendants more.
I think every other person who
Who's done something?
gives you
Because they always look shocked whenever I do that.
Like you're the only one who does
Whoa.
that, bro.
Please start.
at
I will.
certain gas
I
stations.
usually pay by card, so I'll
some
be
people
telling him
have even
to-
asked for it. So I'm not sure they get shocked.
Emmanuel, your
Yeah.
gap year, Wimpy, tips, getting locked up, prison cells, mugshots. Yes.
Yeah, well, it was exciting for me that time, and this whole eMark idea was not even part of the plan.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just me being a youngster trying to thrive, trying to afford myself. So Fast forward, I was selling phones whilst at Wimpy. So I would, when I'm not working, I'll be on the streets looking for deals. Yeah, I have a bag that I love so much. I call it a blue and black bag. So I would carry my few pieces of devices in there. So fast forward, I worked for Wimpy starting, should have been May of 2013, all the way into 2014. So whilst at Wimpy, I think I feel I had made a few monies to leave the place, to then now focus on selling phones, mobile phones, because it became exciting. I started, it was an opportunity cost thing. What would it mean if I focused on selling devices full time? There's no Wimpy involved. Well, tips were good. It was assured income. So I was there now trying to weigh my options. So coming to 2014 February, I then parted ways with Wimpy, because then I was going to Unza in September of 2014. So parted company with Wimpy February of 2014 to now just become a full-time hustler. I wake up in the morning and the only thing I'm going to do is to look for phones. At the time, in fact, one experience also, we started with a friend of mine, and this is when I started entertaining business. A friend of mine, we used to work together at Wimpy. So we sat at a place in Northmead, and the guy is saying, look, and funny enough, most of the things and ideas that I have executed, I've always birthed from very casual places. So this guy is telling me, look, why don't you start doing this on a commercial scale? Like, why don't you start ordering phones online? There are places called eBay. I wasn't familiar with eBay myself. So it's like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. First things, what did I do after that conversation? I went to open an account with eBay. I didn't know anything about eBay. And I remember I purchased something, should have been a Nokia Lumia phone. So you know how when you're shipping stuff from the US, the UK, China, etc., you would need a third-party shipping company to ship to you.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that. The only thing I did, address, I punched in my home address. Now, this is a guy obviously in Florida, whichever part of the US he was.
So where the hell is Zambia?
What the hell is Lusaka? So I
Zambia.
went for 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this device. And it wasn't coming. I felt screwed. Not the coming you're thinking of, Alson.
And not the Scrooge he's thinking of too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I felt screwed in that moment. And I'm like, what's happening? I've lost my money. And I thought this is a better deal than getting stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
So eventually, I don't know how, that phone got to me. So it was sent through the post office.
Right.
Yeah, it was sent through the post office. So while at Wimpy, there's this guy looking for me. There's a delivery guy from the post office, says, we have a phone for you. I still remember the customer I sold that phone to. His name is Edward.
Wow.
Yeah, Edward Zulu. This is as far back as, thank you, Elson.
You're
This
welcome.
is as far back as 7 years.
Yeah.
No, 9 years ago.
9 now.
Yeah. So fast forward, I met friends, the Julilas eventually.
Wait, you know, and getting phones from America, less risky. Even if
Yeah.
they're stolen, no one ain't flying from America to pick up his phone.
No, FBI. The cost of flying, they might as well get a new device.
So there's a better arrangement to deal with eBay.
Yeah, but then because of my experience, I trashed the eBay. I was like, it's not my thing. I love to do stuff there and then. I don't like to waste time. So I met friends, the owners of the Let's Talk Amasample group. Eventually,
Sassy
yes,
and them, yeah.
I did business with Julila. He sold me a laptop. And so those guys at the time, I think they had been long in the game than myself. So they knew a couple of people. They had an established network of people that would bring stuff in the country for them. So then they introduced me to those guys. So I started that. Now that was more reliable, so to speak. So they would then, I would then get devices from these guys, your BlackBerry phones. They were still secondhand, a bit of laptops here and there that I would still just source locally. By the time I was getting into uni, I had made some fair money for myself as a youngster, of course.
About how much?
I was over the 100K mark.
100,000 before even getting into uni.
Yeah.
And you're about 18, 19 years at this point.
18. Yeah, I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah. I already had a car.
He was still living with his mom.
Yeah, I was.
You were?
Yeah, and squandering every money I made on the streets.
Different routes, same destination.
I don't know about his destination.
I headed for success, this guy. But
Yeah, anyway.
that was my story. Then went to school. It was exciting. Things were moving, but I easily get bored. I don't
You
like,
and I both.
Yeah, I don't like doing the same stuff over and over.
One of the reasons why I dropped out. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah?
Moving on.
So I wasn't just comfortable. I'm like, I'm looking for something better. I can't wait for guys from SA to bring phones. I believe that in business, for you to achieve, you need to always make your eyes your oracle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, see stuff for yourself. What's happening? No stuff. Don't expect people to tell you or to just bring things to you and then you sell. It's not fun. So I started questioning, where do these guys get these same phones? For me, I was just bothered. I really wanted to establish a network of where I could get stuff. Because I saw people, people are importing stuff in Zambia. You already established electronic stores. So I was very inquisitive. Where do these guys get their stuff? So I remember in 2015, I told myself, then I was in uni already. So I told myself, I'm taking a trip to China. I'd never seen any of my friends, my peers do that. But I told myself, I'm going to China because I believe that you need to always make your eyes your oracle. Don't depend on secondhand information. Go out there, try out things. So I went to China, and I remember friends laughed because of the quality of phones I came back with. I think they were refurbished. So for me, that was the lesson. This is not the right place to get this stuff from. But eventually, I still have a picture of those phones that I came with from China. I was a student at the
Share that
time.
photo. Lamek. And Martin, are we still recording?
Yeah, I will
Alright, cool.
definitely share
Okay.
that. So I have a picture somewhere. I took a photo and I posted on Facebook. Actually, I had a routine. Between 5 and 7, that's when I would post and advertise my products on these Facebook
PM.
groups. Yeah, because people wake up to their phones. They're checking
it's
notifications.
AM.
Yeah, AM, sorry. Then I would also do it later in the evening, say around 7 to 9. Because
As
then
people
people
wind
are,
down their
are
days,
leaving
yeah.
work. In fact, 5. That's the best time. Because then people are in traffic, they're on their phones, they're in
Yeah,
buses
true,
and whatnot.
buses,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had a routine, and for me, that was my life. So I came back from China. My eyes were opened, but still not satisfied. I took another trip to SA because,
So how are you affording these trips, bro?
You had 100 grand when we went to university.
100K plus. Obviously, K plus, your name. A tough guy. Yeah.
I'm a tough
So-
phone, say.
No. Accolades to me. That was a bar.
Oh, you didn't get that, did you?
No, I did. I'm just saying I'm a tough phone. I'm being spoken about in notes now. 100K plus. I'm a tough phone, say.
But yeah, so I would say diligence, discipline. For me, I tell people that I only have one cycle in business: is invest, reinvest, invest, reinvest. So that's how I could afford these trips. From my sales, plow the money back into my small business.
Oh, sales, not sales.
Sales.
Okay.
Which one do you want?
No, sales.
SALES.
Because you've been in sales before.
yeah.
Police cells.
But you're now making sales.
Okay. I thought we moved
See what
on.
he did there?
I thought, okay.
No,
This is
he's
him getting
thinking
back
because you
at
had been
me.
in sales before,
think-
it toughened you up.
No,
Exactly.
I think the swimming pool got to him. Okay, we're square now.
No, we're still on the yeah. No,
Right.
Yeah.
So I would always plow the money back, and of course, into my
Plow.
small business. I know what. Clean your mind, Elson.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
He'll be okay one day.
Of course.
I've been praying for him.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how come I could afford this consistency. For me, it's about this cell should get back into the business. This cell should get back into the business. It's just that cycle. So yeah, that's how come I could afford these trips. But also when I went to SA, I didn't like the whole setup there because
Do you
then
wanna
these
push
were
the
stolen
mic to
phones
him
as
again?
well. They were stolen phones. Thank you.
It's okay.
Yeah. So these were stolen phones. You know SA very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went there. We were in a hotel room.
No, when it comes to crime, though.
Yeah. So don't worry, we'll bring you phones. So you're there in the hotel room, you're waiting, and they bring you phones. So I could tell something was off about this place. So I quit SA. Then again, went back to eBay. I think now people were being conversant with eBay and online buying. I met a very good friend of mine. His name is Maliwa. So he was very conversant with eBay while at Unza. So we met there and it's like, I'll show you how this app works. I will show you how it works. Because I mean, he knew that I liked business and I once outsourced a product from him. So we started having conversations of how we could work together whilst at campus. So yeah, he introduced me to how the eBay app works. There's so many things that people don't know. So when you search your stuff on eBay, what pops up is not actually what's available. Those are your sponsored products, like how you sponsor something on Facebook. Yes. So there's actually more stuff.
So how do you get to that stuff?
You need first to go to your filters. You say buy from lowest to high price.
those are like on the
those
big screen. Those are the things on the left there, yeah?
Yeah. So there's that icon.
Oh, that's interesting. I never do that.
Yeah, man.
I did
Most
that
people don't.
once.
So the things that you see even on Amazon, they are paid for.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It's kind of
So it's like they come to the front of the shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like they can display on the
Exactly.
So it's exactly like, on Google,
Right.
when you type in iPhone covers,
Yeah,
the first 3 or 4 that pop up does not necessarily mean they're the best.
exactly.
Those
Those companies,
optimization, right?
yes, those companies have paid to be.
optimized.
There you go.
Yes.
So it's exactly what he's saying as
Research
well.
Yeah.
engine,
That's a pretty-
search engine
optimization.
Yeah.
Pretty much that. So my friend showed me how to work around the app itself, eBay. So you can do this. Once you do that, you go on ending soon. So ending soon is those things that are
When
on
you're
auction.
bidding.
Yes,
Yeah.
when you're bidding. This guy would tell me, look, when you're bidding, just wait until it's like
last
3
minute.
seconds. Then you punch in your number. Just be
I want to
observing.
show you the orders that I've made on Amazon.
Yeah, he's always buying
Amazon.
sunglasses and stuff.
Okay.
I always order bullshit.
He's got money to
Sunglasses
spend.
and stuff.
He's got money to spend. He's the only one
on
driving the most expensive car here.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit though. That's
Oh,
the
yeah?
brokest person actually.
You think so?
Yeah, I know. that.
Costs money to service your car, Elson.
It costs money to service yours too, bro.
I think
Yours
yours
though, it's a Honda, Hyundai.
It's a
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Yeah.
It's a white person's car.
You think so?
Yeah, Hyundais and Volvos.
Yeah.
What do they say about men that drive Hyundais?
So I know what they say about men that drive Volvos. They're married.
Okay.
If you're dating a married guy who drives a Volvo and you say you didn't know he was married, you're a fucking liar.
And people who drive Hyundai, you said this. I think the first day we met.
White people?
No. When
Mainly.
you meet a guy who drives a Hyundai, just know he's serious. He's marrying you.
Yes. Yeah. I want to ask you about marriage. I don't want to digress. Though.
Oh, talk
Yeah,
about
yeah. So you figure eBay out, you start getting your stuff from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there I experienced some growth. rapid growth, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Because then you would get stuff as a lot. So you get lot of laptops, 100. So it won't be priced per unit, but as a lot. Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Alibaba too.
Yeah, exactly. Same dynamics. So you'd get your lot of laptops. So the profit margins were okay at the
Way
time.
better?
Yeah, because man, you got stuff as a lot. So not as a unit. So when you do your calculation, you realize that maybe you're getting a laptop for maybe 900 kwacha.
Damn, and
Yeah.
you sell it for like 4 or 5 grand here.
No. Those to my mini laptops.
Oh, like 2 grand.
Those second hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, your phones, your iPhone 6. Yeah, I remember we partnered with a friend of mine. His name is Young Rico. Shout out to him. We were renting a space together, and it was under his brand.
Dude, you're doing all these things and you're at
Yeah.
Unza.
I'm at Unza, man.
You're making all this money. You've got a car, like one in 1,000 students already driving.
Yeah.
Apart from the matures who would
Exactly.
come driving in the evening.
Right.
So try to understand the attention you would get from the ladies, man.
Not quite, hey?
What?
I didn't give them the need.
Okay.
You create attention.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to believe so.
You created attention by buying a car, and you were a small guy. I mean, you are a small guy now, but you're smaller than I'm assuming.
No, if you
Yeah.
are going to buy...
Assume.
I'm assuming.
Right.
So,
That's
you,
what I
wanna
said.
you said assume.
But look, there are people who have money, and we know they
Yeah.
have money, but they don't have the attention. And there are people who don't have it, they have the attention. So sometimes attention is self-created to some extent.
But how was it?
No,
I know, but
I don't
also-
believe you. It's self-created. I believe you entertain the attention. It is
You're
there,
right.
but you might not entertain it.
But also, Unza is a very big place. There are kids who are coming from well-to-do families.
Yeah.
So I think for
That's
some
why I said
people,
1 in 1,000.
Yeah. So that I think for some people would then conclude that I'm just coming from from a
yeah,
rich
yeah,
family.
yeah. It's
or
not your
some
hustle.
sort. Yeah. But
What,
also,
what did you study?
I did business administration with economics.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Did you finish that?
I did. I graduated.
Graduate.
Congratulations.
Do you want to put my pictures, my graduation pictures?
Yes.
On the
Lamek.
yeah, because also there's a narrative that because you're doing business entrepreneurship, then
Yeah.
you didn't finish school or drop out like some guy,
You managed to squeeze it in.
I did.
You managed to squeeze it in.
I did.
Wow,
Right.
people ganging up on me now.
So-
So you do your business and what the economics like the major.
So
Or
at
it is-
Unza now, I'm not sure. But then if you're going to do business administration, you have to do it with economics.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know about now, but it was like that in my case. In fact, we should have been the second students to do that because the program wasn't there.
And look at you right now. You're running a very successful business.
Yeah,
think
did
so?
eMark
Thank
start
you.
at Unza or you
Because some people that I know, the only thing they can run is a tub.
water in a tub?
Yeah.
Do you then register what you have today while you're at Unza, or that happened like a little later?
Yeah, it was during those eBay days with my friend Maliwa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why don't we formalize this?
Yeah.
Why don't we formalize this? I think we can, there's a way we can do business. There's a way we can do it better. How can we just get real with the hustle? Why don't we have, because then we started entertaining the idea of, eBay very well. I was more liquid. Why don't we have one account so that if you're the guy who has seen the deal, could just go through, could just click and buy without waiting for me, and vice versa. So yeah, I remember we went to open just your normal joint account. Say, okay, look, we'll be buying stuff together. What you do is, if I'm not available, you could do the buying. Obviously, I would get your notifications and vice versa. So we went there, we opened an account and started thinking, like, why don't we register a business? Didn't know stuff. It was just the excitement. It was the desire, the dream to say, look, stuff can get better. So why don't we just keep on innovating our lives, evolving how we do business? So yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can actually open a business. Oh, okay. I started thinking, I'd like to, I don't know if I should spill this, but I'll leave it to myself. So how are we going to name our business?
Yeah.
So I went down. I went down to think, started permutating my name, of course. How? It's the E, the what, the Emmanuel, the what. So I don't know where it came from. This was 2017. Was a student at UNZA. Came up with Emmanuel. What do I want to do in life? I want to leave a mark. I want to leave a mark. I want to change lives. I want to look back and be grateful that I have lived. So I'm here not just to live, but to also leave a mark, to leave a legacy. So that's how the name was born, eMark.
Wait, but you started this with your friend though?
So my friend, yes, my friend was not so into the business.
Or you lied to him saying the E stands for electronics?
No. I told him. I would like to admit this. I wanted him to, the mark. I told him the MA because his name is Malio. I told him it's
You lied to the nigga.
Yeah, you have to play it smart. But the truth is, as Pepakra, you can't be one director in a limited company.
Yeah.
So I needed somebody, and he was a guy available. He was convenience, for lack of a better term. He's my good friend. Shout out to him.
And you didn't get that concept from eBay, eMark?
No. Far from it. It was my name. I'm here on earth to leave a mark. So eMark, why don't we do it?
There's another. So before we met, there's another shop that kept confusing me that I thought you owned, which is E-Zone.
E-Zone.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They do appliances, etc.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I was looking at
as well.
water dispenser, their store
And
yesterday.
it's almost the same logo as
It's also
well.
orange, yeah?
No, our logo is blue.
Yeah, I know it's blue, but
Orange
then like
is
the
just our
setup.
secondary color.
Yeah.
Okay.
The setup of how E-Zone is also like written. It's almost kind of like eMark.
I don't think so. I've seen them, but I've not paid attention.
Have you patented your logo?
Yeah.
Have you? You thought about it?
Now I'm going to look them up because you are giving me chills.
Yeah. You might want to patent your logo.
Yeah. Not definitely.
Because the look and feel of how eMark looks cannot be duplicated if you patent that.
Exactly. But people are good at it. Thinking is hard. People
true.
always copy stuff.
Because you don't want a scenario where somebody now rides off the brand that you've created and all they put is like a double A on eMark.
Look, Elson, I always know that people can copy stuff. People can want to be like you.
But they can never be you, of course.
Authenticity is the differentiator. You could copy Elson. You could want to speak like Elson, but you can't be Elson.
Yeah, it's like iPhone is a double O.
Yeah, imagine.
Speaking of
And
people,
4 cameras at the back.
Doesn't make sense.
Abibas.
speaking of people
it's authenticity, really.
Speaking of people copying Elson, someone came into my inbox.
Right.
Did I share this with you?
No.
Some girl and some guy was hitting on her and asked for 100 kwacha,
Right.
so that he goes to meet her. And she sent the money,
Right. Thinking it's you.
thinking it is me, because the guy was using my pictures. I'm about to show you. The guy was using my photos.
Wow.
And only when she got into the guy's car
Right.
Did she realize?
did she realize
It wasn't you.
it wasn't me.
Nelson period.
It was an Elson period.
So I just don't see, look at that.
This one with the Vox water.
My goodness.
They used the picture that we took
right?
with the Vox water.
Yeah.
All right.
We need that.
What was the story there?
Look at that. So she sent me the screenshots. She sent me the screenshots
Yeah.
of the conversation she had with the guy. Imagine that.
No, that's beyond copying. That's impersonating.
It's
Oh, crap. You're going to
catfishing.
put his number up. Wow.
It's catfishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
then, like,
wild. Now that's mad.
There's far better looking people out there.
Damn.
Why would they use my goofy looking short ass?
Man, you have a prestigious podcast.
They could
No
use his.
brainer. It's a no brainer.
They could use his dark.
Yeah, but the girl
college dropping.
Yeah, but the girl wasn't interested because I'm married, probably, or something. Yeah. Anyway, Emmanuel,
Since when has that ever stopped anybody?
it's a very good question though. But she probably thought about that. Also, I'm thinking in her.
No, but you did put a good word for Kalenga on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Uh-huh.
That this is the only faithful man in Lusaka.
Who said that?
Because he doesn't have a password on his phone.
Who said
You
that?
Remember?
Who said that?
Yeah, you did.
Said
You
that
did.
on the episode.
I said
That
that.
should have been with
Huh?
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Which episode was that? Oh, with Mikey. No, not Mikey
no,
too.
not Maki too.
Christina.
Yeah,
With
Christine.
Well,
Yeah.
now he's got 2 phones.
Oh, farmers got 2 phones.
After you showed me the iPhone, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Wait,
Are we okay? I just saw power blink there. We're good. Okay, cool.
Can you guys stop fucking around? Do you guys see that? you wanna zoom in
How
on
many layers of passwords?
Yeah, dick. Emmanuel. So, Unza, you're done. You graduate business administration with
that?
economics.
He does what?
He graduates.
He does what?
Is that my phone? Yeah. So you graduate from
Say
University
that
of
one more
Zambia,
time. Say that one.
and then what happens afterwards?
Say one more time. Come on.
Okay, we're running out of time now.
Say it right.
Say it right.
So you leave Unza.
A word you're not familiar with. A word you don't.
You're also joining this now.
A word you
I
don't.
graduated from the University of Life, guys. Come on.
He did not leave Unza. Okay,
Right.
you leave a toilet.
I graduated from the University of Life, and I'm doing fine. I can't complain. So you graduate from the University of Zambia. Then what happens next?
I bet your bank manager
So
complains.
yeah, I had this dream of how we should run a business, a small business.
Oh, you never went to employment.
Yeah, no, I'd made up my mind. In fact, what used to happen
Yeah.
was that sometimes I would miss lectures because I'm on the street
That was
hustling.
my life in uni.
Yeah. I never went a day without thinking of whether I should proceed or stop. Like, I was always arguing with myself. Should I continue? Is it worth it? But for the sacrifice of so many people,
Yeah.
I thought, I always believe there's power in finishing. Sorry, Kalenga. But I always believe there's power in finishing.
No. Now I do. Trust me.
Yeah,
Projects I start, I finish.
Yeah, there's power
Yeah.
in finishing. Not even for the results, but the satisfaction.
Yeah.
I say the same thing.
Right.
Just pause by there, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
So this guy is one of the smartest people that I know.
He's
He's got an amazing fucking memory.
straight dude.
He
Intelligent.
he reads quite a lot.
Yeah, that I do.
He's very intelligent.
That much I know.
The reason why I am always regurgitating the same thing is
Yeah.
exactly what you have just said. That there's nothing that you can ever learn that you can apply now that you already haven't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is in that the guy that did Blackish, what's his name?
I don't know him.
The star in it?
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, the star, Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
He's just completed college.
Yeah.
She went back. So it was about completion more than really saying, I'm going to
I
apply
need
what I
it,
learned
yeah.
now. You know what I mean? Because there's just something
Yeah.
in starting and stopping something that just feels like your life will never really...
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? That's just basically what it is. Because
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him.
Right.
That no school could ever freaking teach me. So
Right.
that's just the principle in it. Is,
I think in my case,
basically-
consider the fact also that I didn't want to go to university.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to.
So why did
I was already hustling.
So why did
And then one day my parents call me and say, "We've already paid. You have to go. This thing of hustling on the streets is
It's
not
not
going to take you
nonsense.
anywhere."
Typical
So I
black
went there.
parents.
With, typical black parents. So I went there with that. What the hell am I even doing? I didn't want to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But I see what my dad always told me is people respect you for making a decision and sticking to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
So
anyway.
if you're gonna say I'm not going to go to college at all, there's actually an advantage to that because you actually now have got a head start. So the 4 years that somebody is in college is 4 years that you're actually applying that
Yeah,
time
true.
to make something of yourself.
Yeah.
But if you take 2 years and then you then drop out, you've essentially just
I lost. Yeah. But
Lost.
look at it another way.
Right.
We're not all wired the same. At 18, this guy was already making 100 grand. You weren't. I wasn't. We are different. Like you mentioned in the beginning.
Different routes.
Different routes, same destination. So I made my mistakes. I learned from some. Some I repeated and learned later. You know what I mean? So here we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So you made the decision after university not to get into employment because you wanted
No,
to.
while in school.
While in school.
While in school.
That was
and
something
I
you were
saying
debating.
I finished because I believe there's power in finishing.
Yeah.
But also looking at how many people were looking up to me.
Some people finish on girls' faces.
You think so? But for me,
He caught that.
okay, yeah. But it was also looking at my family. They had invested quite some money in me. I'm like, I might as well. I'm doing it for not just myself. So many people out there. So I told myself, fine, let me just get done with this. But more so to be able to apply what I learned into my business. Like how can I what I told myself is, if I'm gonna run a business and I have a degree, I've been to UNZA, I should do it better than the guy who's not.
Yeah.
Not that he can't, but I think I have the rare opportunity to get some level of exposure. And how do I translate this knowledge into results? I think it's Napoleon here who says, if you can't translate your knowledge into actual results, then your knowledge is worthless. So for me, it was about...
That was chapter 6 in Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, that's like your Bible for motivation.
It is my Bible, actually.
Yeah. So
And that's another thing that I never really understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to cut you. People that read or go and listen to motivational speakers.
Yeah.
I've never understood that concept.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, but also what I've learned is when taking in knowledge, that's why if you're reading a book, you realize that a very decent book, you will be able to get a few nuggets that the other person won't get.
Yeah, true.
So in most cases, we don't learn stuff. We just realize stuff that's already in us.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why motivation doesn't work. It can't work to certain people. If your motivation is at 0, it won't work. It won't work. You need to be a certain kind of
I mean, if you have an idiot and you motivate that idiot, all you have is a
Sorry to
motivated
say.
idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So
Nothing
so,
changes.
Yeah.
That's
So basically, the point that I was trying to
Yeah.
aim at is, Trevor.
Yeah.
His motivation was poverty.
Yeah.
There's no book that he's gonna read that will make him say, "Oh, you know what?
Exactly,
Tomorrow
exactly.
I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go to APSA and I'm gonna speak to the CEO."
No, you can't motivate
You're-
someone. That's true. You
Right.
can. People are self-motivated.
Yes. So essentially, why I say that I don't get. Hey Davis, I'm shooting a podcast. I'll call you back. This guy's pretty good, Davis Tony.
Davis.
Basically, the point that I'm trying to make is, if you need a person,
yeah.
what's that Tony dude? The
Tony
buff
Robbins.
dude. Yeah. If you need to watch a video where this guy tells you get up, do something, etc.
Right.
If you need a person to tell you that, you've got something missing. I know your story quite a lot, and I know part of the motivation when I was speaking to you is you sitting in your mother's house and you've got a baby and you've got
true.
your wife in the house.
Yeah.
No book that you could have ever picked up would have given you that much motivation to say, you
That's
know what,
true.
I need
That's
to get up
true.
and fucking hustle. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So if you're at that point,
I agree with you.
yeah.
And I always say this, a class about business, entrepreneurship is not necessary, because the traits that make an entrepreneur, you can't teach. You can't teach passion.
true.
You can't teach
Absolutely.
determination. You can't teach drive. You can't teach hope.
Exactly.
Because these are the fundamentals of any entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So
true.
Yes. Which is what I see in you. The first time
you.
that I spoke to you,
Thank you.
it blew me.
yeah.
There's no book that you can read that can make you be that hungry.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
for
I
me,
mean,
I take in motivation for, like you take music.
Right.
A boost.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Entertainment.
I use it as a boost.
For a good time.
Yeah.
For a good time.
I mean, there's sometimes where I feel like
yeah.
I start lazing about. So when I listen to people like
Exactly.
Leslie Brown, it boosts me. You know what I mean?
Like-
But I'm already motivated as
Like,
I am.
you
but it
always need
boosts me.
somebody to remind you.
Yeah.
To remind you, like, look, Elson, you are great. We all need that affirmation. And sometimes that's what you get from your motivation. But also, it's not necessary. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And that's why I feel what's important for every person is to find their truth, their dream, what drives you.
Earlier,
I
we
think so.
said we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
How you start your day with
Right.
intention and things like that. Yeah. And I know this is something that's close to you. Tell us a bit more how you start your day.
So I wake up every day of the week at 4 a.m.
What?
4 a.m.
Elson is still snoring.
Well, that's the time that strippers come home, bro.
For real?
Yeah. They wake him
Side
up from the
note.
snoring, yeah.
Yeah, but I try by all means at least to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I'll pray. I'll say a prayer to remind verses that, and one of my favorite being
Jesus wept.
No. Philippians 4 verse 13.
I can do all things
through Christ who strengthens me.
yeah.
Why? Because everybody wants to see you fail. Everybody, Elson, so many people will write you off. So you need to put yourself on.
Yeah.
Like, you should be the last guy to look down on yourself. You should be the last guy to write yourself off. So I remind myself that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'll pray all these things. I'll read a chapter of a book that I'm reading in that moment. Then I will go to the gym, or I will run. So I do that to set a tone for the day. Because like I said, so many people have written you off. So many people want to see you do the wrongs. People just want to see you fail. People want to frustrate you. It's like, I don't know. People just want to be rude for no reason.
Yeah, true.
And if you don't have the mental fortitude to withstand that and to understand where people are coming from, you easily give in. And before you realize it, you have a nerve-wracking day. Your day is just messed up. There's a quote I love, and that is, how we relate with others is the truest expression of ourselves. So people who are bitter, people who are not at peace with themselves, are looking for the next person they can just injure.
Misery
Oprah
loves
says
company.
hurt people hurt. People are
Exactly.
hurt others, you know what I mean?
So you find that somebody's coming at you, gun blazing. They're ready to start a war. Now, if you don't have that self-awareness of and just the realization that this is what it takes to deal with people, you realize that most of your days will be trash. So I think you need to be intentional about what day you want, how your day should look like, how you're going to relate with people.
Yeah.
How sometimes, especially that most of people employed at eMark, about the same age as mine, it could be difficult to manage
Control,
people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I need to put in systems within myself of how I'm going to relate with my colleagues. So sometimes I'll tell myself, today I just want to make people feel important. It's not easy to be a decent human being. It's not, because you equally have your own stuff that you're fighting and so on and so forth. Business itself is hard to deal with. So you need to tell yourself, what do you want your day to look like? Today, I just want to uplift my people. Today, I just want to call that friend of mine I've not talked to in a while. It's just about being intentional.
Listen, how do you start your day when it comes to being intentional? Apart from the strippers at 4 a.m.
Sadly, I don't have a routine, but I always get up at the same time. I'm always up by 6.
Right.
Started working out, so I go running.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I started working out. I go running.
How many Ks are you covering
Sorry,
so far?
I think the aircon was a little too loud. I thought I heard Elson talk about working
Elson,
out.
how many Ks
Yeah.
are you covering? Yeah, it's brilliant. Dope
Yeah,
stuff.
8 meters?
Kilometers?
On other days, I cycle actually.
Oh, nice.
She was actually planning on borrowing that bike because I've never seen that bike being put to use.
Yeah, I cycle.
Finally,
Nice.
it's being put to use.
So
Wow.
so within my
How are you
complex.
feeling in your legs and your body?
I expect Olsen to actually have a more robust morning routine in that he's big on mental health and
Yeah.
these things.
I met you remember Jose, the guy from Mozambique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met the food. Where did you meet the guy first time? Jameson Cake?
No, we met him at
Or was it a food market?
no, it wasn't. We met him at
it doesn't matter.
DeCapo.
Yes.
He was eating at the spot where we wanted to
Yes,
shoot. and we
yes,
wanted
yes,
to
yes.
leave. So
Funny,
he's
a friendship started from there.
He's big on meditating, and he put me.
I
on.
meditate as well. Yeah.
Hey,
And he put
meditation
me
is
on.
good stuff.
So I come back from working out. I meditate for half an hour. I take a shower. I make coffee. I have got a team that runs fintech in the southern province. 38 people now.
Yeah.
So we have a morning call for about 45 minutes. And from there, my day starts.
Nice.
I'm also into software development.
Yeah.
So I go into the office most likely after that, I think by 9ish. And if we do have a podcast to shoot, I consult my college dropout here to see if we've got anything. If we don't, then it's work for
You
that day.
spend some days at eMark.
I spend some days with you.
We all do.
Yeah.
Where I meet very interesting people, like
Human
the lady
beings.
that I met.
I hope she'll watch this.
I hope she watches this. Have you ever met somebody who are you sending
No, just going
eggplant
through-
emojis?
No. Am I what?
I saw you send an eggplant emoji just now.
Look at this guy.
Did you say you were sending
Wait.
it to him?
This looks like an eggplant emoji.
I saw an eggplant emoji. You're showing me the wrong text.
I just opened the phone and show you.
He's switched apps already.
Why not,
Smart
right?
guy.
What kind of show do you think this is? Jesus Christ. This nigga here is busy sending eggplant emojis.
R51.
This looks like eggplant emoji.
That's
Awesome.
it says
Guys
serious
married.
what? It says serious partner? Is that what? Huh?
Printers, serious printers.
So you're sending an eggplant emoji to someone that prints.
Can
And someone that was calling you said chicken. There was a name that said chicken there.
Emmanuel,
Right.
87,500 kwacha for an iPhone, man. You're either one of the best marketing people we have in the country, or
Thank you.
Why did you look at me?
Nothing. I was waiting for you to comment.
I know, right?
I'm not gonna say shit.
I know that
Right.
the
If
country
you're
wants
gonna
to
give me
know.
a discount on my phone, I ain't gonna say shit.
You got a discount already.
Did I get a discount?
You
The
did.
country wants to know.
Yeah.
How did you get Mutale to buy a phone for 87,500 kwacha, man?
House way.
How he?
Auction sale. So they were bidding.
Nothing happened behind the scenes, because a lot of people are feeling maybe it's a marketing gimmick, like just to get more light, cast on eMark.
So it's like a show, hey? A podcast. You can't tell this will be your best episode.
Yeah, true.
And people think it was planned, it was arranged. I believe we don't have a script for what we're doing now. But it's flowing in an event that people get to like this. Was it planned? Not quite. I once asked an artist whether they know if
This song's gonna be hit.
said
Yeah.
if we used to know, would just be doing hits. Same thing. So it wasn't a marketing gimmick, no. It just happened that she bought the phone on auction and it went all over social
all over,
media.
bro.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what I love about social media, and it'll be very important that people get in terms with what's happening and how big social media is, because stuff spreads like wildfire. You know what I mean? Just one thing done right could take your business forward. One thing done wrong could take your business backwards. And that's the power of social media. Stuff spreads like wildfire, man. So it's just something that worked in our favor, and we are grateful for that.
Did you get a lot of sales at the
Yeah,
Pepper
I
Dash?
was about to say,
Yeah,
man,
we
you
get a
seen
lot of
business
sales.
rise after that.
The traction is there. The
Look at me.
traction
I
is
came
there.
to buy a phone.
Yeah, look at you.
Keyword buy.
Yeah, I think that day our phone was ringing back to back.
Sales. People wanted the iPhone 14 after
Just
that.
inquiries, different stuff. Yeah,
I mean, if you didn't get those calls before, wow.
yeah.
Means eMark is now in the spotlight after you need to pay Mutale Mwanza, man. At least even half of the it has been paid.
No, she's good people,
Yeah.
and shout out to her.
We had a problem getting her to that gig, though. How did you manage to get her to come?
Oh yeah, I reached out to Kaling and asked whether we could invite Mutale Mwanza.
Is that why you asked that question?
Oh yeah.
No.
So it wasn't
Because it was such a random question.
It wasn't
I just
easy.
didn't realize that.
I didn't win. If I did, I would have brought it up earlier. I didn't win. He's about to explain.
If you
Yeah.
could blow yourself, you would. Right
No,
now.
I wouldn't. He'll explain. I didn't win.
No, he didn't win. Because Mutale is Mutale, but
Yeah.
one of the she's very gracious.
Yeah.
She's one of the gracious people, very misunderstood, but one of, I would like to say, one of the most kind people I have interacted with and worked with.
Do we have the same definition for kind? We need a fact checker.
I think gracious, you know.
Hey, he's about to explain why.
yeah. That's my interaction with her.
Right.
Yeah, I remember, got her number and called her. Look, we have an event, ABCD, we are launching an iPhone 14 series. We feel you've got influence. Can you come to our event? And she was so kind, eh? In fact, I told her I didn't expect that this call would go like this. I was hoping that you shout at me.
Because you told her the conversation I had with you, right?
And
Yeah.
she laughed and she says, people just misunderstand me. And I learned something from her. She says, people are just committed to misunderstand me. They never talk about what provoked me. They only talk about how I reacted.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So,
Have you ever given Mutale anything for free?
no.
Never.
Maybe a screen protector.
That's the only thing. Never any device.
No. Our friendship.
Kind of like you've done from Pompey, where you've given Pompey a device, and he says, "No, I've gotten this
That's going
device."
where I think
etc. Remember, you pray.
Some do buy.
Remember,
Some
you
do buy.
Remember,
We'll
you
just give maybe
remember
massive
you pray
discounts.
every morning.
No, that's true.
Don't miss heaven because of this small analyze.
Am I here in my capacity or as eMark?
No. That's why I know if you've given Mutale anything,
No, we
any product.
Our son. I'm trying to see. Yeah, she was at
Let me
our
put
store.
that right close to your mouth.
Thank you. She was at our store yesterday. We gave her some accessories.
Okay.
She came to replace a screen protector.
Yeah, but in
So-
Emmanuel's defense,
So
Yeah.
here's the point that I'm trying to drive at. I'm not going where you thought I was gonna go.
Yeah.
Do you think
Right.
that her accepting to come for the event
Right.
was her thinking she was going to receive something? Because if the Hilton Hotel calls me and they say, because they've given me and Kalenga free rooms before,
Nice.
which we've never used.
Fantastic.
And they say, hey, listen, we are launching A, B, C, and D. Can you come? In my mind, I'm like, free room again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't you think that she could have been kind to you specifically?
Because she thought there was something in for her.
Because she thought there was something in it for her.
I like to think people have
I don't know, it's just a thought.
more grace to understand than we can imagine. It's about how you engage people.
Yeah,
It's
true.
about how you talk to people. And like I said, the same Mutale Mwanza people call so many things. I'm telling a different story.
I mean, you sold a phone to her for 87.5,
Yeah.
so
So it was there were so many people at that event, and we extended a genuine invitation to them. But also what we have realized as eMark is that there's nothing significant we will ever achieve if we do it alone. And nothing significant.
Right.
We cannot take for granted the influence that the Z podcast has. We cannot take for granted the influence that Mutale, the Pretty Tash of this world, the so many people, the Pompey, the Makitu, the Chef, these people are followed by so many people. You know what I mean? And you can't take it for granted. So we want to partner with as many people as possible, because the eMark dream is not something we can achieve by ourselves. And that is why we reach out to people. Look at you guys. You've done business with us. You've bought stuff from us. And people would think you got it for free, when in fact not.
But why don't you give us stuff?
Why don't we give you stuff? We are not that liquid as a business. We are not that liquid.
you believe that, Kalenga?
he did say if we put up the advert on this episode, he'll give us free stuff. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
You might get a free screen protector, bro.
Lamek, we can squeeze the adverts at the beginning and at the end, right? All right,
Lamek, you need to stop fucking around. bro.
Lamek, are you paying for that? You'll be the one to sign off the invoice.
Emmanuel, it's been great having you, bro. Anything else that you want to...
There's a lot that we didn't touch on, man. There's a lot. But then we are pressed for time. I've got a trip
Right.
Yeah, that's why...
to the southern province. But
Nice.
look, I'm inspired.
Oh yeah.
I've told
I'm super
you.
inspired as well. Yeah.
I've
think
told
so?
you. I've told you this to your face a couple of
Right.
times. I feel you've achieved a lot for somebody that cannot grow a beard.
Do you have one?
Yeah, it's malnourished. I actually shave.
A struggling one.
No, I actually shave.
Oh yeah.
But I do in terms of beard, I do better than you and Comba. But you and Comba have achieved a lot more for people who cannot grow a beard. And
Yeah.
Comba actually, he texted me and he said you need to have eMark on your show.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm ahead of you on that one because we already had that discussion.
I
So-
actually told him that I'm coming for
great.
for the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
So
thanks to him and
the more
thanks to you.
that we talk, the more that I see that anything really is possible for as long
Right.
as you are apparent, for as long as you are deliberate about what you want to achieve.
Right.
And we draw inspiration from different people. Just because you're younger than me does not mean that I cannot look up to you.
Thank you.
Or just
You're not too young to teach. You're not too old to learn. So
Yeah, so-
here we are today. Testament to that.
Thank you.
listen, man, chase history. You might not have come from money, but your kids will.
Those would be very lucky human beings.
Emmanuel, thanks for coming through, bro.
All right.
It's been real.
Thank you so much.
All right,
To the
Ken.
next episode.
Dun 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 dun. 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 Dun 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 dun.